Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for your testimony and for your presence. When the Obama administration came into office in 2009, the president and the administration inherited a train wreck of an economy as a result of the Great Depression. Since then, the economy has gotten back on track through the leadership of the president with the able assistance of yourself and other members of the administration. Yet it seems like we consistently hear every time the administration has taken a step forward or plans to take another step forward, there's a gloom and doom scenario envisioned. The sky is going to fall, the world is going to end in some way, shape, or form. We first heard that in connection with the passage of the Affordable Care Act. We were told it was going to end health care as we know it. Instead, more than 16 million previously uninsured Americans now have affordable health insurance. And in fact, the cost trajectory of health care has slowed in a way that is positive for all of America. We heard that when Dodd-Frank was passed, it was going to end Wall Street productivity as we know it. Instead, we've got a stock market that's way up, CEO compensation is way up, profitability amongst Wall Street institutions is way up. That's a good thing for America, for New York City, where Wall Street is based. But Wall Street, as we know it, wasn't ended. Then, of course, I think we heard when the progressive tax code was put into place consistent with the fiscal cliff agreement at the beginning of 2013, that the job creators would be hurt in an incredible way. Yet we've had 60 consecutive months, I believe, of private sector job creation continuing through that period when the fiscal cliff deal was put into place. 12 million private sector jobs have been created. So we've heard now, consistent with some of the things that you've attempted to do with respect to federal procurement, your support of the minimum wage, that we're going to grind the economy to a halt, the sky will fall. And so I just want to get into a little bit of the facts, if you will, related to why you're supporting a minimum wage increase. For instance, we've got a consumer demand problem, I believe, in America that we've been attempting to address moving forward, correct?
Well, I support a minimum wage because, number one, it's fundamentally fair. Nobody who works a full-time job should have to live in poverty. I support it, number two, because it's smart. You know, when you put money in people's pockets, they spend it. Employer after employer tells me, Tom, this is a consumption-deprived recovery. And that's because folks don't have enough money in their pocket. And so it's the fair thing to do, and it's the right thing to do. And that's why voters in Nebraska and Arkansas and Alaska and elsewhere have voted increases in the minimum wage, you know, New Jersey as well, because it's an idea that has had bipartisan support in this body, whether it was Newt Gingrich in the 90s, George W. Bush, his father, every president except two since FDR has signed an increase in the minimum wage.
Right, and Americans, both on the left and the right, blue states, red states, get it. If you put more money in the pockets of everyday Americans, they will spend more. If you spend more, you're going to yield economic growth. That, of course, is going to be good for the country. In terms of federal procurement, there seems to be this argument that access to federal procurement is a right, not a privilege. Seems to me that it is a privilege that should be earned as it relates to whether contractors are doing the right thing by standards that already exist in law. Could you speak to sort of the efforts that the administration has taken to try to level the playing field so that good actors are getting access to federal procurement and bad actors are not abusing taxpayer dollars?
Right. It's important to note that contracting officers are already required to assess a contractor's business integrity and ethics before awarding a contract. And when you're a contractor competing for business, you've got to do the same thing if you have subs. And by the way, that's not simply the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do. No one wants to associate with a sub who has a bad rap. And so what we're simply doing in this rule is clarifying that breaking labor laws, if you have had multiple labor violations in safety or wage and hour, that's not consistent with business ethics. And there's a provision in this in our regulatory structure here whereby after the rules are final and before they go into effect, there is a period of time that we have set up by design where businesses who think they have questions can come and get those questions answered, because our goal is compliance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Gentleman's
Secretary.
time has